I think we should keep the incoming changes from develop. So let me just get out of this view first, with Control-C. Kicking us off with this Git Bash tutorial, let's start with cloning down our repository. The command git clone, followed by the path to your repository. Navigate to the folder where you would like to have a copy of your Git repository saved. Right-click and choose Git Bash here. This will bring up the Git Bash console. Once loaded, type git clone, followed by the route to your repo. I'll be using the HTTP route today. Once passed, hit Enter to clone down your repository. You can see from the file viewer that our repository came down in a folder. To use Git functions, navigate into the folder by using cd and your folder name. Mine is My New Website. Then hit Enter. To stage a file, the command is simply git add file name. But if you want to stage all your files, you can use git add period. To then commit the staged files, the command is git commit -m, followed by your commit message in quotation marks. Let's see how to use this in the real world now. Before I commit my files, I just want to see if I've modified anything for staging. To do this, I use git status. The README file in red, listed as untracked, means that this is a new file and has not been added to the remote repository yet for tracking. If an existing file were modified, it would be listed as changes not staged for commit. Seeing as I only have one item to commit, I will use git add period to stage this file. We can check it was staged by using the git status command again. There, the README is now green, indicating it has been staged, and is listed as changes to be committed. If you need to unstage a file, the command you need is git reset, followed by the name of the file or period for all files. If a file is highlighted as new or modified, but you don't know why, you can review the file by using git diff with the file of interest. It will show you either what was in the file or the lines of code that were modified, red being the deletion of the original code and green being new or updated code. If you're finding git diff is a little too complex, don't worry. You can always use Visual Studio Code to see what your changes were in a similar way. Now let's carry on with the committing process. Once your files have been staged, it's time to commit them. Git commit -m, open quotation. Now you can add any message you want. Just remember to describe the changes you made. Close the quotation marks. When you're happy with the commit message, press Enter. Done! If you want to make sure your changes were committed, use git log. Now you can see your latest commit message at the top of the log stack. The command for pushing your changes is quite simple. It's just git push. So let's push our commit up now. And that's all there is to it. If you wanted to double check that your push got through, simply navigate to your repo and refresh the page. Great! Now you can see your latest commit message next to the file you modified, and look, now I've got a shiny new README. To check out a branch, the command is git checkout your branch name. The best part about this command is it also doubles as a way to switch between branches if you have multiple locally. If you want to check which branches you have available to you locally, use the command git branch. I only have a main branch. If you want to check what remote branches are available to you, you can use the command git fetch to get all the latest updates. This one says there's a new branch called develop available. To pull down this branch locally, let's use the command git checkout develop. We know we have switched from using the main branch to the develop branch locally from the command line terminal. I'll show you how to use checkout to switch a little later. For now, let's move on to branching. To create a branch off your current branch, the command is git branch your branch name. We used this before to see what branches we had available locally. This is done without the branch name part. But when you're ready to create your own branch, you can use the same command with a branch name to create one. Pretty cool, right? I want to create a branch off develop. So the first thing I'll do is check that I'm on the develop branch through the command line terminal. Then I will type git branch feature / add subtitle to image. On pressing enter, my new branch should have been created. I'm still on the develop branch. Let's check what branches we have available. Okay. So when you use git branch in this way, it will create the branch, but it won't put you on it, unlike source tree. Be sure to check out that tutorial if that sounds easier for you. Let's use the checkout command now to switch to your new branch. Git checkout feature / add subtitle to image. There. Now I can see I'm on my new branch. Phew! Oh, and just a word of warning, you can't add spaces to a branch name, so I've substituted spaces for hyphens. The commands required to perform a merge will be git checkout your parent branch in order to switch branches. Git fetch. This will check to see if any commits were made to the parent branch that you don't have locally yet. Git pull to pull down the latest changes. Then finally, git merge parent branch once we have switched back to our feature branch. Let's see the real world example now. Step 1. Switch to the parent branch. Git checkout develop. Step 2. Check to see if we have successfully switched from the command line. Step 3. Git fetch to check for any changes to develop. While there are no changes on mine, I'll show you how to pull down changes anyway. Step 4. Git pull to pull down any changes to your local repository. Step 5. Git checkout feature / add -footer -to -the webpage to switch back to the feature branch we want to merge develop into for the latest code. Step 6. Perform the actual merge. Git merge develop. Uh-oh, we've encountered 2 conflicts. If not for these conflicts, the merge would have been done and dusted by now, but because of them, we're stuck in the middle of the merge process. Let's find out what's causing the conflict in mywebsite.html file by using the git diff command we used earlier. Git diff mywebsite.html. Okay, so we can see that our code has a very small paragraph tag describing our image, whereas the incoming changes from develop has a more descriptive tag with a subtitle class, meaning it's going to look pretty. I think we should keep the incoming changes from develop. So let me just get out of this view first, with Control-C. A few hours later. If it's not escapee, then what could it be? Control-C, Control-V, Control-X, Control-Z, escape. Q. Q? Are you kidding me? If you need to exit the diff view due to the changes taking up all of your terminal, simply press the letter Q to exit. Since we want to keep the changes from the develop branch in this case, we can resolve the conflict by using git checkout -theirs with the file we want to resolve. In my case, it's mywebsite.html. This action will discard our changes in favour of the changes from develop. If we wanted to keep our changes instead, we'd use the keyword ours instead of theirs. That's one conflict down. However, we're still in the merging state as we saw we had 2 files conflicted before. It seems my.css is also conflicted. Let's open that file up to take a look. Okay, so with git diff on my CSS, I did find a conflict marker in here, but this one is a little more complex. I want to keep both my changes and the changes brought in by develop. While you can use the Git Bash command line to modify the file, it's a little cumbersome, especially for beginners. So I'd highly recommend opening the conflicting file in a text editor. Visual Studio Code is a great IDE for assisting with conflict resolution. Let me quickly remove the conflict markers and fix the code so it's all valid CSS. There. Once you've resolved all your conflicts, you'll need to commit your changes to finalize the conflict resolution and complete the merge. This follows the same commit process we discussed earlier in the video, so I'm confident you'll manage it. Just remember to give your commit a meaningful name stating that you did resolve conflicts and what files they occurred in. And that wraps up our Beginner's Guide to Git series. If you found this Git Bash tutorial a bit challenging, consider trying out a graphical user interface like SourceTree. I also have a Beginner's Guide to SourceTree on this channel. You can find it linked in the description below or at the end of this video. Additionally, if you'd like to learn a little more about the main concepts in Git, I also have a video covering this too. Other than that, if you have any questions or want to delve into advanced topics such as rebasing or resetting your local commits, please don't hesitate to let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, subscribe to this channel for potential future videos on those topics as well. Until next time, this is Micro, logging out.